Hello everyone, welcome back and thank you for watching. If you're new here, my name is Maria and in today's video I have some more Christmas DIYs. I absolutely love how these turned out. I did use mostly Dollar Tree items, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and if you do, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. With that being said, now let's craft. I'm going to start with the big lantern, and I will be using the Dollar Tree wood crate, the Dollar Tree wood arrow, and a paint stick. If you don't have a paint stick, you can always use the Dollar Tree dowels or skewers. And I'm also using the Dollar Tree LED push-up light. I'm going to start off by removing the hanger from the arrow, and then I'm going to place the crate on top of the arrow and trace it, but I am going to make it just a tiny bit bigger because I am going to try to make it like the small little lantern the Dollar Tree carries, and I will show you in a minute how that one looks. I'm basically just doing a big version of this. I will be using my handsaw to cut this. The small lanterns have like another square on top, so I will be making it with a leftover piece of the arrow, and I am using my saw to make this little square. To cut this square. For the front of the lantern, I will be using the paint stick. I'm going to just measure it to the size of the wood crate, then I'm going to cut it. And now I'm going to cut this in half, and to cut this I did use my box cutter. Now I'm going to put them, and then I am going to cut like the little corner off, and this is just so I can put it in there and it can stay and I don't have to glue it. If you want, you can go ahead and glue it, but I wanted this to be removable, so like that, if I have to change the batteries of the LED light, I can just pull the X out. Before I paint my lantern, I'm going to glue everything together, and you can definitely use wood glue. I just decided to use hot glue just for video purpose only because I didn't want to wait a long time so I can finish this. So I am going to start off by adding the sides, one on top and one on the other, and then for the top part I am going to add the other square right on top. This almost looks like the little mini lantern. I just love it. This is what I was going for. I wanted to recreate the small little one into just a bigger version. So far this is how it looks. I'm only adding glue to the center of the X. Before I add the LED light, I am going to paint this, and I will be using my Waverly Chalk paint in Truffle. I did add a little bit of water. I didn't want this to be too dark. Now that's nice and dry, I'm going to add the light. This already has adhesive, so you don't have to add any. Now I'm going to add the X, and all I have to do is just push it a little bit in there because I did make sure it was the right fit. I wanted to secure more the X or the front of the lantern, so I did cut a piece of popsicle stick and paint it, and then I will glue it to the front. This is going to help the X stay more in place. So this is how it works. You can turn it on and turn it back off. You can also remove and put the X right back on. This is just so you can exchange the batteries. I am making a set of 3, and for the other 2 I'm going to use the Dollar Tree little lanterns. I'm going to paint both of them using the same Waverly Chalk paint in Truffle. In order to paint the inside of these small lanterns, I use a small paintbrush. It kind of looks like you can take these apart, and I did try to, but it was hard, so I stopped. I didn't want to break them. And this is how my 3 lanterns look so far. I am going to remove the string from the small little lanterns because I will be adding a Velcro right on top. But before that, I want to make some little arrangements. From Dollar Tree, I will be using 2 garland ties, some pine cones, some berry garlands, and from Hobby Lobby, I'm going to use the little pine cone and berry pick and the buffalo check ribbon. I'm going to start off by cutting one of the garland ties into 4 pieces. I'm going to use 2 for each little lantern. Now for the other garland tie, I'm only cutting it in half, and this is going to make 2 pieces for the bigger lantern. This makes 6 pieces of the garland ties, 4 small ones and 2 big ones. Now I'm going to add the berry garland around each tie, and to do that I'm just wrapping it around it.
We stay up waiting for Santa tonight. He climbs down the chimney at the speed of light.
I'm going to then twist both of the ties together, then add the pine cones, 1 on each side. I'm going to do that for the small ones too, and I will be adding the small little pine cones from the Hobby Lobby pick. Once I am done, I'm going to make a bow and add it on the center of each little arrangement. The pine cones of the small arrangement had white, so I'm going to add some white paint to the bigger arrangement because those were plain pine cones, and now they all match together. Now, so I can use these lanterns all year round, I am going to add Velcro to the lanterns and to the picks. Now I'm going to glue the Velcro to the lantern and then the other piece to the arrangement.
Saying hi to every friendly face, and later we warm up by the fireplace. Carolers are singing outside our door, lovely songs we all heard.
Because my Velcro was white, I did want this to blend in with the lantern, so I am going to use the same Waverly Chalk paint and Truffle to paint over them. And that is it, guys. All you have to do is just add the little arrangement to the top, and I absolutely love these small little lanterns. You can use these all year round, and you can leave them like that, but I decided to use the rest of my garland ties and add some more berries and then add them to the bottom of each lantern. And I didn't glue these, all I did was just twist them at the back and they stayed on pretty good. And that is it for this 3-piece set of lanterns. I absolutely love how they turned out. They were so easy and so inexpensive to make, and you can use these all year round. For my next DIY, I will be using this Dollar Tree Believe long sign. I'm going to remove the hanger, and this one was stapled. They usually have strings tied to holes, but not this one. This one was stapled, and I am using this knife to remove them. I started by painting the back of the sign with the Waverly Chalk paint in white. Then I distressed it using the Waverly Chalk paint in truffle, and I didn't like how I did that because I don't know what happened. I did add way too much of the truffle, so I went back with the white, but this time I used a light hand and left it streaky and added a little bit of water to it so some of the brown can peek through, so it can look more washed and old and rustic. So if you want to achieve this look, you can just skip the first step by adding white, go straight with the truffle, and then add white on top of it. And because I added some water to the white paint, it kind of made it more watery, so some of the brown blend in with it. So I did let it dry and then went back with more white. Once I like how it looked, I let it sit there for a couple of minutes to dry. Then I went ahead and added some wood planks with this sign and a colored pencil. Then I went over the lines using my Waverly Chalk paint and truffle and a small paintbrush. And before the paint dry, I did go over it with the paintbrush so it can distress it a little bit more and the lines can blend in more with the sign. The next thing I will be doing is adding Merry Christmas, and for the word Merry, I will be using these poster sticker letters from Dollar Tree. As you can see, they are different colors, so I am going to paint them with the color Crimson from the brand Waverly Chalk. I did have to give these like 3 coats. And for the word Christmas, I'm using these other Dollar Tree poster sticker letters. I am going to put them to my sign. For the greenery on the sides, I will be using this Walmart pick. I'm going to take 4 stems off, and I will be using 2 on each side. Dollar Tree carries different Christmas picks that you can use instead. I will be using a piece of juice string to tie these together, so like that when I glue it to the sign it can stay more, since I feel like when you add greenery to signs it tends to come off, but since the juice string is what's gonna be glued to the sign, it is going to stay there a little bit longer. For the berries, I will be using the Dollar Tree berries, and I'm going to use 3 on each side. The last thing I will be doing is drilling 2 holes so I can add some juice string, and like that I can hang this. And that is it for this Merry Christmas sign. I love how this turned out. It looks so high-end and it was so easy and so inexpensive to make. And that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, bye.